up, everybody? Welcome back to another Shop Talk Tuesday. So, starting this off a little bit different because I am sitting down as opposed to standing up right there. I am going to be drawing and like coming up with the design for the giveaway knife in this Shop Talk Tuesday. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to change the camera angle, point it at the paper, and while I'm talking, I'm going to be designing this knife. So we'll have that, and you'll be able to actually get to see a sneak peek of what the knife is going to be. I don't even know what it's going to look like yet because I'm about to start drawing it. Now, I originally had a plan of what I was going to be doing for the giveaway knife, and I'd already started making one thing, but then I thought, you know what? That's not the direction that I wanted to go. So I'm going to go this direction, and that way y'all can kind of see the whole process of what I'm going to be doing. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be filming the whole entire process of this. I might do portions of this knife build in each Shop Talk Tuesday until it's completed. So we'll probably draw it this time, and then I'll film like some of the forging stuff while I'm talking to y'all next week, and then kind of just go, you know, with however it turns out. I don't know if that's going to be the process that we're going to be doing, but I will be filming portions of it each time I do a Shop Talk Tuesday. I don't know what portion is going to be going on that day that I film the next Shop Talk Tuesday, so we're going to play that one by ear. What I plan on doing is designing some sort of drop point, you know, hunter / camp knife type thing. We're going to see how it goes. Might throw some recurve in there. I haven't decided yet. So what I'm going to do is while I'm doing this, I am going to be talking about just designing knives and how I come up with them, plus a few things with the shop that we're going to be building, and you know, just other stuff. But I really want y'all to be able to see how I come up with my designs in this so that y'all can kind of, you know, wrap your head around my thought process. So let's go ahead, let's change the camera angle and get this going. So we're going to do a little cut now. Now what I tend to do whenever I start kind of figuring out what I'm going to be doing with the knife build is I'll design the handle and then I'll start designing the blade. Now this particular knife, we know that it's going to need to be probably about 2 inches. We'll go with the bar stock being about 2 inches. Decent little piece that I know is 2 inches. We'll just go ahead and trace this. Now this, of course, is not the piece that I'm going to be using. I've got an idea for what's going to be, what that piece is going to be used for. Now, this is our current project. That is going to be an awesome knife. Alright, so this would be a good place to kind of start with the knife. This is the rivelet, so I know that this size is going to be a good size for a knife. You know, I can make it a little bit longer if I want to. That's a decent size handle, and I could easily just make this knife, but I don't want to do that. I want to do something that's different. And what I'm going to be doing, like I said, is a nice drop point, you know, camp knife style knife. I know that I'm going to be doing a handle shape closer to this, so I'm going to go ahead and draw this handle on there. We're not going to be doing this kukri style of knife, but this will give me a good handle to start off with. Probably won't go that aggressive with the end here. We don't need that much going on back here. So we can easily take off a portion of that, about right there. Let's say we'll bring this about right there. And that'll give us a decent idea for handle shape and everything. And we know that with this area, that this swell right here is a comfortable swell. We know that the spine of this is a comfortable fit for a hand, and that this is a decent size handle, so it'll fit a lot of people's hands, because my hand's not exactly a small hand. So that right there, one of the things that we might do is we might go ahead and make this section a little bit larger. So scale up the handle a little bit. So if we know we're going to do that, we can go ahead and make this easy and erase this top line. Take the same handle, kind of put it in its position right here, and then bring it up a little bit, and then go ahead and go with that. And that's going to make this area larger right here. And now I'm not going to refine this shape just yet, because I want to go ahead and start making the blade shape. This one is one of my ring knives right here. You can hold it right here, you can hold it right here, hold it like that. But what I like about this is this drop point blade design here. So we're going to go ahead and use this as an idea for how we're going to do our drop point. So let's say we wanted to go ahead and put that about right there. And then we're going to go ahead and just kind of figure out where we want this, and if we even like this upper piece right here. So one of the things that I want to do with this is start figuring out where I want everything to be positioned. So right now it's got kind of a little bit of a sweep right here, and then it kind of comes up right here, and then it drops down. Well, I know that that is comfortable for something like this right here, but typically with my drop points, they have an arc that goes all the way across here, or an arch that goes all the way across here. So I mean, the difference between these two, let's say, let's go ahead and actually let's erase this spine, because I've got an idea about how I'm going to do the handle now. And this is kind of how my knives get designed. It's me just playing with the shapes. Yeah, that's a nice gradual arch right there. So now what I'll do is, I know that I want this spine where this like back piece is here, that is comfortable in this little area of your palm. It lets it recess down into here, and it gives you a really comfortable grip. I've got one of those in this knife right here. It drops down and scoops in. That just leads to a really comfortable handle, and I want to do that on this. So we're going to go ahead and scoop it down, and I'm going to make it to where it meets almost the middle of this swell right here. So we're going to go ahead and erase this now that we got an idea, and we're going to refine that line. And then we can go ahead and finish out the butt of it. So while I'm kind of refining just the handle, we'll talk a little bit about the shop stuff. So today I went out there and I got a lot of random stuff done today. So I'm kind of fighting an abscessed tooth right now, and to keep my mind off of the pain of that, I was really busy today. So if you're part of the Facebook page, you would have seen a bunch of posts today where I made the anvil base for the new Trenton anvil, and then I was able to restore those tongs today that I got, the blacksmithing tongs that I got with that flattening hammer at the same time. And I did a lot of work in the other shop, plus I kind of spaced out. I put some posts down so that I could start planning out where the shop's going to be and how it's going to be set up. And I'm able to finally tell y'all the dimensions of the shop. So the dimensions are going to be, it's going to be a 16 foot by 20 foot shop. So 16 feet long by 20 feet wide is what the overall shop's going to be. And then my grinding room is going to be 10 feet by 5 feet. So that should set me up to where I have plenty of room for the grinder, the different attachments for the 2x72, plus be able to have space between it and the wall so that I can move back and forth and actually use the room. But what's going to be in there is a area to be able, with a vise, so that I can use the angle grinder, plus the portaband saw will be in there, and it will leave me plenty of room to be able to do everything that I need. So that's what I did. 16 by 20 feet is the overall dimensions. So it's going to be, we'll just use this as a example here. We're going to scale it down a little bit, but let's say it was so 16 by 20 right there. And my regular shop, a 12 by 12, basically is going to be right here. If you can imagine a square there, I'm going to have an entrance right here to go into the shop, and my grinding room is going to be about 5 feet by 10 feet in this back corner. So in the current shop, my anvil sits about right here, but my current shop is only just a section of this shop. You know, it's about half and about 2/3 here. But I'm going to have the grinding room in the back corner. I'm probably going to end up putting the forge in this corner and end up putting a Vent-A-Hood type thing above it. So I'm going to have both forges right here. And I think that that's going to work out real well, because I can actually line these walls with fire retardant material, so I don't have to worry about it burning anything. And I'm going to put a little hood over it and a vent coming out, so a lot of that heat can escape. And then, you know, the anvil is going to be kind of free floating around here, plus we'll have a workbench on this other side. It might even kind of be an L workbench, but we're gonna get this thing planned out, and it's gonna be pretty cool. I started digging up a few things around the current shop to start figuring out, you know, where things are gonna be, but I've got to start pricing concrete to be able to get it poured it's going to be a fun project. But now, back into the knife here. Now, we've got our handle kind of shaped where we want it. We can go ahead and make this line a little bit darker right here, because this is the amount of drop that I want. This is going to stay exactly where it's at. And what it's going to do is it's going to have just a nice arch all the way into this little, indent right here, this little swell that comes down. And then it's going to come up and come forward. This is going to be a nice handle. So what we're going to do here, I could just leave this shape, but I kind of want to go ahead and do something that is a little bit of a recurve. So for one, we can go ahead and just drop this down to finish off the handle. And then I'm going to give it just a slight recurve. There's not going to be a whole bunch of recurve in this. It's going to be just a little bit. And then it's going to sweep up to the front. I know some people might be a fan of recurve. Some people might not be a fan of recurve. I personally like it because it lends itself to a bunch of things. So it gives you a nice belly for skinning. And if it comes time to cut a rope or something, you can use that little area where it recurves up. So let's say something like this right here. If I needed to cut a rope, it'd catch this and then it would just slice through it, because it's going to automatically bring that rope all the way to here, cut through. That's one of the reasons why I like a little bit of recurve on there. Now, you might think, okay, that's the knife design, we're finished. No, at this point, we've got our overall profile, but now we got to start figuring out where we're going to put our plunge line, how high we're going to bring our bevels up, where do we want our handle, things like that. So I do all of this stuff in the knife design phase. I don't skip any of those steps. So right now, I know that I'm going to want to bring it forward just a hair so that we have a little bit of a flat spot right here. So this little area you see right here, so that we can end up putting a sharpening choil in here. So we're going to have that flat spot come up, and it's going to start our plunge line. I know I'm going to go ahead and do a sharpening choil on this. So some people, they'll actually start their sharpening choil in front of where their plunge line ends, so that their plunge line ends behind the sharpening choil. Some people will do it halfway to where the sharpening choil comes back and the plunge line splits that sharpening choil in half. And I've done it a bunch of different ways. On this particular one, we're going to make it to where the sharpening choil starts at the plunge line on this particular knife build. So we're going to have our sharpening choil right there. Going to have our slight recurve. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring these bevels almost all the way up to the spine, but not all the way up, because with this being a camp knife style build, you want a 90-degree spine so that if you need to strike it on a ferro rod, you can. So we're going to just leave some of that on there. I know that some of y'all ask why I don't do Scandi grinds. It's just a personal preference. You know, some people do almost all Scandi grinds. And I don't ask them why they only do Scandi grinds. It's purely a personal preference. Me, I like my bevels to come up pretty high. Some people aren't that comfortable with that. Some people aren't comfortable with grinding high bevels because they might mess them up. I feel pretty comfortable with mine, so I put those high bevels on pretty much everything. You know, this right here, I like a good high bevel. This would have looked just fine with the Scandi grind, but my personal preference is to not do that. I would prefer a full grind on there. But again, it's all personal preference. But on this, we're going to bring that grind up quite a bit. And the point behind that on this is so that we actually can thin out this blade and take some of that weight out of it. Because if you end up doing a knife and you leave, let's say you did a Scandi grind on here, you're leaving a bunch of weight in this area, and you want this knife, because it's going to be a larger knife, you want it to be light. You don't want it to be a big, bulky, heavy knife. And I want to take as much of that weight out of this blade as I can while still leaving a good, grind on there. So we're going to bring that plunge line up at an angle. Some people go in square. On my rivulets, I tend to do a square plunge line, but on this, I want it to have a nice little sweep to it. Bring it up, and then that's going to let me bring my handle all the way up to about right here. That's going to give us a good size handle right here, which is going to let us get a nice comfortable grip on there. So that right there is going to be our giveaway knife. Now, what we're going to make it out of, we can make it out of 80 CRB2, we can make it out of 5160, we can make it out of 1080, I can do a Gomai with it, I can do a Sanmai with it. Y'all are going to have to see what I end up doing with that, but as of right now, you get to see the shape of this knife, and hopefully that gets y'all a little bit excited. It's something that is going to hopefully appeal to a bunch of people. But this right here is just going to be a nice, good size blade, good size knife, and we're going to see how it goes. Boom. Alright, now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to bring y'all back up so y'all look at my face, and we'll talk a little bit more. Guys, that is pretty much the end of this Shop Talk Tuesday. Y'all know what we have working. Y'all know that we have the Warncliffe style knife, and y'all know that we've got the, giveaway build going on. So hopefully y'all are excited about that, and hopefully y'all are excited about the awesome things that we have to come. I'm really excited about doing this particular build right here, which is the Gomai. I'm also really excited about doing the Kumai. I've got the copper right down there. So that is going to be a really fun build, and we're going to be doing those, at least the Gomai this month, and we'll be doing the Kumai next month, plus a couple other builds and the giveaway knife. So guys, there you go. If y'all would, give this video a thumbs up, share this video or one of my other videos, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Now guys, that's it. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all stay safe out there. I'll catch y'all next time.